Yo, listen, you guys, thanks so much for joining us, you guys. If this is your first time tuning into the table, man, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that bell, because during this season, especially during this pandemic time, we're trying to just drop some encouraging words of encouragement. It's a lot of encouragement right
so
there.
So much.
And so we're going to talk about something a little fun, something right in your alley, something that's trending right now. And it's talking about how to talk to your spouses about money without fighting.
Ooh.
Have you ever gotten into a money fight with your new wife?
100%.
You have?
I think if you haven't thought about money, you're not trying hard enough.
But wait, you only been married for what, like a year?
A year and a half.
And you've already got into a money fight?
There's been some discussions, some heated discussions.
I mean, but you bought her a house, you furnished the entire house, and the first day you moved in, and you guys have already had a money fight?
Here's the thing. We're on the same page, and that's what's important.
But
that doesn't mean that we're not going to have disagreements from time to time. Usually it's, hey, I want to get this thing, and then it becomes a permission thing, and so we have to have a discussion about it. And it's not her money and my money, it's our money. And so that's where things can get a little dicey.
So this article says that it's no secret that couples argue. Nearly half, 41% of American couples fight about loading the dishwasher alone. Have you all had that argument?
No.
Amen.
I'm happy to load it, and she usually helps out. It's a team effort.
I think the argument would come who's going to wash the dishes, not load the dishwasher. But it goes on to say that money is a common source for arguments. 31% of partnered adults say finances are a major issue in their relationship, which tend to be the nasty and divisive type. A family's shared financial goals, such as retirement, moving to a bigger home, and paying kids college tuition, take a back seat to emotions and personal stories.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow. Why is it so hard to talk about money with someone you love? How can couples manage, discuss, and plan their financial futures with clear heads and serenity? Can financial compatibility be learned?
That is so good. You know, we have our Money and Marriage event with Rachel Cruz and Dr. Les Parrott, and it attacks these issues.
Yeah. Okay, they do.
Yeah. How do you make these two things work together?
Yep.
And oftentimes they don't. I mean, we know that, divorce is a huge issue in America, and that largely stems from financial issues.
Yep.
And I think money especially taps into some of our deepest values and our childhood upbringing.
Yeah.
So you think about those things, and that's 1,000 triggers right there.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know, because you don't know my personal context and history and my mood and how I was raised and my value system. And so there's so many kind of landmines that you could step on in a marriage when it comes to money. And so you've got to approach this thing with a plan, with intention.
But, I mean, if the man is the head of the house, why are we arguing? If the man says, we're going to just pay for this and we're going to do this, what's the argument for?
So are you saying that the man gets to make all the money decisions? This is a terrible plan. America would be bankrupt.
Am I going to have to cut this out?
No, Anthony's trying to trigger me. That's what's happening here. I feel a little bit triggered.
I'm just asking a question. I'm not married. Let's say, for an example, you and your wife have had money argument. What if you all just can't come to an agreement? Like, how do you resolve it then? What is the resolve for a married couple?
I think you've always got to point back to your why, back to your shared goals.
Okay.
And so if you don't have those, then it's just my opinion against yours and why mine is more important.
That is good.
And that's dangerous. That's a dangerous place to be, which is why the first thing you've got to do is sit together and come up with a plan.
Yeah.
Not for you or for her or for whoever, but for both of you. What are our shared financial goals that we want to accomplish?
Yeah.
And that's been the big game changer for us. We've ignored a lot of disagreements that could have happened because we can easily point back to, well, we want to pay the house off early. So that's why getting a Peloton doesn't make sense right now.
Hold up. What is a Peloton?
A Peloton?
Does he not know what a Peloton is?
Anthony, you know what a Peloton is?
I don't need to know what a Peloton is.
Come on.
No one knows what a Peloton is, George.
Have you not seen the commercials?
No. Oh, the Peloton is the bike.
The bike.
Yeah, see?
The $2,500 bike.
Stay on that side of the glass, Connor. I mean, but you know what, though? One of our other Ramsey personalities, Ken Coleman, who is our career expert, he has a Peloton.
Huge Peloton fan.
And he loves
loving
it.
That's all he talks about.
Yeah. I mean, he need to hit the gym with me one day to put some muscles on him. But other than that,
He's got great calves. That's all. Ken, I hope you're watching this. We love you, buddy.
Oh, we love you, Ken.
So yeah, about when it comes to your money goals, once you can point the finger at the goals and say, here's why we can't do that. It's not because I don't want you to have nice things.
That's good.
It's because we agreed that paying the house off early or getting out of debt, whatever that goal is more important than us having stuff right now.
So how do you all get on the same page for the goals? So I know when I first met you, you weren't married, but I do remember you saying, when I buy my house, I want to pay it off early.
Yeah.
And so what if your wife was like, I really don't want to pay it off early. I want to spend money over here more than just paying off my house.
I think there's a compromise there, right? If she wants to travel a lot, that might mean it may take us a year longer to pay off the house.
Okay.
And I need to be okay with that. If she's really passionate about traveling, I'm not going to say, no, you don't get to go anywhere because we got to pay this house off 6 months early.
Yeah.
Well, why? Just because you want to? Because you like the number?
Yeah.
So I think you really got to get after the heart behind it.
Yeah. We joked about this earlier, but talk to that married man that feels as if I'm the man and what I say goes.
Oof. Well, first of all, he'd be terrible at sports because he'd be hogging the ball the entire time. And marriage is a team. It's a team effort. It's what you signed up for.
Yeah.
And so I think when it comes to that, you can't just decide, well, I get to call all the shots. You have to hear the other person out.
Yeah.
And that's why those shared goals are so important. Hearing what you want to do with your life is important. It should be important to me if I'm your spouse, if I'm your life partner, the person you decided to do life with, then I don't get to make all the shots.
Yeah.
Now, you may get final say, and there has to be a trust and respect there.
Yeah.
But if that trust and respect isn't born out of you having a head on your shoulders, making wise financial decisions.
That's good. Connor, I think you said your wife controls the finances. You make the money, and she controls the money.
Listen, the best way to put this.
Oh, boy.
All right. I wear the pants, but she picks out what pants I wear. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Why can't you just both wear pants? I don't know why this has to be a discussion.
Because she likes wearing dresses, I think.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
well, hey,
Lord
Anthony,
Jesus.
let's talk about this.
What?
You are a single man.
I am.
And so in the dating world, when
Tired
do
of
you
being
think...
tired of being reminded that I'm single.
I'm sorry. I hate to bring it up, but hey, he's single, folks. As a single man, when do you think is the right time to talk about money when you're in a dating relationship?
Ooh. Are you talking about me or as in like in general?
In general.
Okay.
Do you have any advice for single people out there
Yeah, man,
who may be dating and they're going, hey, do I talk about how I'm a huge Dave Ramsey fan the first date and talk about my financial goals? When is the right time to do that? Is it a week, a month, 6 months? Is it a stage in the relationship?
I don't think it's an actual particular time. I think it's whenever both sides are comfortable to have the conversation. You know, I think for me, when I go out on a date, people already know who I am. So they already know Anthony's a money guy. So it tends to come up before we even go on a date. It comes up on the phone calls like, hey, I have a credit score. Are you okay with that? I mean, we're just dating. We're just trying to get to know each other. I have debt. Are you okay with that? I mean...
What are the financial deal breakers? Not just for you, but for single people out there where you're dating someone and you realize, oh boy, this may not work out.
I think the mindset. So there's no amount of money that would turn me off of dating someone. I've met several ladies who were solid ladies and they had, a lot of debt, a lot of student loan debt, $100,000, $50,000. And it didn't bother me. One thing that did turn me off was they didn't care. They weren't trying to better themselves. They were not trying to get out of debt. They weren't trying to start a business. They weren't trying to build wealth. They were comfortable in the season and in the place that they were in. And so I already knew that was going to be an argument because I want to expand. I want to grow. I want to not have any debt. I want to leave my kids with inheritance to my children's children. And so studies are showing that the average African-American just leaves a life insurance policy and with a bunch of debt. And so when they get that life insurance policy, the kids pay off the debt, pay off other stuff, and they don't really have time to really enjoy life. And so I want to be opposite. When I die, which is not happening anytime soon, but when I die, I want to leave my kids with wealth, with land, with businesses, with freedom, with peace, with joy. And so if I'm dating a young lady and her mindset is, I don't really care about that, that's a turnoff to me. And so for me, when I go out on dates, 9 times out of 10, we've already had the conversation before we went out on a date. But I think to the general person, I think in the beginning, before you settle down and you are in a courtship or what some people may call it, an official committed relationship, I believe you should have that conversation before then, because my philosophy is you date and you court with the purpose of marriage. So you don't need to know all their details, but you should know the basic of who they are from a financial perspective.
I love that. So understand their values, but you don't need to know all the nitty-gritty details about the numbers on date one.
No, nitty-gritty of numbers, I think that comes right when you're talking about marriage, right around engagement time. I did this with my ex-fiance. We pulled her credit report. We looked at everything to see what we need to pay off. But I think finances, man, is something important.
Huge.
I want to talk about that in my marriage. And I want to see, not in my marriage, but in my dating situation, I want to see how are they dealing with money. Is this young lady heavy on name brands? Is she driving the most expensive car and she's trading it in and financing it all the time? I want to look at her habits with her finances, because that's going to let me know her values and what she values. Because what does the Bible say? Where you put your treasure, we know where your heart is.
Yeah.
And so, again, I don't have no problem with nice things. But I definitely want to make sure that...
But it reveals their values.
Exactly.
And encouragement for people who maybe their significant other isn't on the same page. All hope is not lost either. I mean, I've seen some amazing stories where people, go through Financial Peace University together.
Yep.
And it's a game changer. Because they get on the same page and they realize, oh, I really do love this person.
You know what?
We just didn't have a vision.
You know what? You know what's so dope, man? I think we should plug this right now.
Okay.
You just said something so dope.
Oh, I know where your head's at.
Yes, man. I mean, right now, during this pandemic time, if you're dating and or you are married, and let's say you are married and you're having some financial arguments right now, or let's say you're single and you're dating someone and you want to, grow together. Well, we're giving it away for 14 days for free.
Yep.
If you go to daveramsey.com/hope, and you can binge this, and it's free. Take the whole class.
Yeah.
Learn from Dave Ramsey, Chris Hogan, Rachel Cruz. And for those of you all who are new to the tribe, you're saying, well, what is Financial Peace University? It is pretty much the step-by-step plan on how to control your finances God's way. Okay, how do you get out of debt? We walk you through that process. How do you get a 3 to 6 months emergencies for times like this? We walk you through that process. How do you invest and have millions for your future? We walk you through that process. How do you pay off your house? We walk you through that process. And I'm telling you right now, man, we travel the world together, you and I.
Yeah.
What is one thing you love? Because you've hosted some of the Financial Peace University classes. What is one thing that you love teaching?
What I love teaching people about is really the mindset shift when it comes to money. So it's not a particular lesson. It's not, man, I love talking about budgeting. I love shifting the game for people to go, oh, I want to accomplish my goals.
Yeah.
And a part of that is changing the way I handle my money.
Yeah.
So it's not, hey, you should listen to Dave because Dave's smart. No, listen to Dave because millions of people have followed a proven path.
Come on, man.
To help accomplish their goals and have that freedom and have options instead of obligations like we talked about in our last episode. I
love it. You guys, so we're going to put that link below. I want you to check it out right now, daveramsey.com/hope. Go there. If you're 18, 19, 20, 55, 60, married, single, dating, I'm telling you right now, binge this, not Netflix, because I'm telling you right now, it will help you to avoid spouse arguments around money and future arguments around money. But let's go deep, man, because you know me, I'm always challenging my tribe, my people to every single day learn something. Now is the best time to be learning.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that entrepreneurs are going to be birthed during this season. I believe leaders are going to be birthed during this season. I believe that job increases are going to be birthed during this season. I just believe so much is going to be birthed during this season if they're taking the time to learn and to grow their mind. What is one thing that you're learning during this season?
One thing I'm learning, and this is something I thought about a lot in the past, but we have this idea of FOMO. That's huge with this generation, fear of missing out. There's so much happening, there's so much out there, and we feel like we're never getting enough.
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned this season is to have what I call JOMO.
Okay.
The joy of missing out.
The joy of missing out.
Let that simmer.
I'm going to let it simmer.
It's a big concept. And here's what it is.
Where do you get the word simmer from?
I like to cook.
Oh, you like to cook?
Yeah.
Oh, my boy, Country Rain says, simmer down now, simmer down.
Simmer down. I like that. So here's what JOMO is all about. It's about missing out on purpose because you've got vision and you've got a goal. Mm-hmm. And I love Michael Hyatt. Here's what he says. When negative things happen, the best question to ask is, what does this make possible?
Yes.
Whew.
Yes.
That's an exciting question.
Yeah.
Because now you're going, what are the opportunities? Like you're talking about innovation. What are some of those skills that I can learn so that when this thing's over, everybody wants to hire me because I'm the best graphic designer. I'm the best video editor. Whatever the thing is that you're passionate about, this is the time to get really good at it.
Yeah.
And it's a time to learn new things. It's a time to reconnect with things you used to love.
Yeah.
It's a time to try the things that you always said you wanted to do but didn't have time. Well, guess what? Now you're stuck at home. You got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
So I think what it's going to reveal is what's really important to people. And for some, that's going to be binge watching Netflix. But for some, they're going to learn how to play the piano. Yeah. They're going to learn to reconnect with that old thing they always loved to do and kind of forgot about it and put it on the back burner. And so I think this is going to be a time for a lot of people to pivot and have that JOMO where they go, wow, there's a lot of joy in missing out because all that stuff was just me wasting time.
Wow.
It was entertaining, but it wasn't uplifting.
Yeah.
It wasn't moving me forward. And so that's something I've been learning is to reframe this crisis as an opportunity for growth.
That's
the best thing we can do right now.
Yes,
and one
sir.
of the only things that we can do because we actually control that.
Yes. Yeah. And Dave says, control what you can control and don't focus on the things that are uncontrollable. You know, we can't control what the virus is doing right now. We can't control what the president is going to say. We can't control how long the city is going to be locked down. We can't control what we're doing in our homes and with our minds. And I call that self-control. I'm reading a book. I read a book called Good Habits, Bad Habits by Wendy Wood. And she says self-control is simple when you understand that it involves putting yourself in the right situations to develop the right habits.
Ooh, that's good.
And so what situation, where are you putting yourself at right now to develop the right habits to really help you have self-control, to learn and to grow during this season? Okay.
That's so good.
And so I have a spot in my home that it is the right situation, it is the right place, and it helps me develop the right habits. And I haven't missed it since we've been on this quarantine type status. I get in my office and I actually disconnected my TV. Okay. I unplugged it to where I can't even cut it on. And so when I get in that office, I get into the right situation. I get into the right mindset. It's time to grow. It's time to learn. And I'm reading, I'm listening to podcasts. Let me tell you something else I'm doing. And I want y'all to check this out too. I downloaded this app called Masterclass.
Oh, I love Masterclass.
And so what I'm doing is now an hour a day, I'm on the app and I'm learning something that I would have never learned before. And it's like what I'm doing is I'm learning something that is connected to what I'm already doing. But Masterclass, it's been a blessing to me because I'm like, let me learn how to be a better leader. You know, I was watching Shonda Rhimes. She is a big time writer for big networks. And so she writes out TV shows. Well, I got a show. You know, I need to learn how to write out and develop more shows and become better. And I'm learning how she's thinking and processing things. So what are we doing during this time, which is so good? What else are you watching? Are you watching anything right now?
I am. You know what I've been watching?
Netflix.
This might be biased. No, well, okay, here's the thing. I did watch Tiger King. I will admit
Did you like that?
I had a deep appreciation for Tiger King.
I got to the first one, got to the half of it, and it wasn't for me, bro.
I understand. It's not for everyone, but
It's
I will
really
tell you,
not.
I really enjoyed it. And it made me think about this. With
What?
this FPU free trial, it's 9 videos about the length of a Tiger King episode. And I went, I just binge watched Tiger King, 7 episodes, 45 minutes each in 3 days. And so for people out there going, I don't have time to watch 9 videos right now. Life is kind of crazy. I don't have time for this financial peace thing.
Yes,
You've got time.
Yeah.
The question is, where are you going to spend that time? And I love what you're talking about because I realize we're all going to build habits during this time. Some might be bad and some might be good. And so you get to make the choice.
Yes.
What habits are you going to build during this quarantine?
That is so, so, so good. You know what's something else that they can binge right now?
A Message of Hope. I've been loving this series we've done. And it feels like it came out of nowhere. I mean, this was something where we went, how do we respond as an organization to this crisis? And we looked up and we said, wow, there's a lot of bad news out there.
Yeah.
What if we could give people good news?
Yeah.
Not out of touch good news, but true hope. Things they can do right now, practical things.
Yeah.
Focusing on the controllables, focusing on the facts, focusing on our behaviors, our attitudes, our thoughts.
Yeah.
And it's been so encouraging. And yours released recently, very exciting.
Yep.
So I want to encourage people, go watch those because they're only about 15 minutes apiece. But there is so much encouragement and advice, practical stuff, what to do with your money, what to do with your life, what to do with your career right now from all of our Ramsey personalities.
Yeah. And you know what, man? I think let's clarify this real quick. We're not saying do not watch Netflix.
Sure. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. And let's be real. We are going to watch Netflix.
100%.
But what I would definitely say is, make sure that you're putting in more positive than actually entertainment. You don't need to come back to your job. You don't need to come back into the real world talking about every segment on the Tiger Show or every segment on this show. There's another show on Netflix everyone's talking about, Love Dating or something.
Love is Blind?
Love is Blind.
Yeah.
I haven't even watched it because when I saw that when I saw that men are watching this thing and they're like, oh my God, this is so good. I'm like, I better not. Because I'll probably sit there and watch it throughout the whole day and get no work done. And I do not want to come back to this office talking to my team about Love is Blind and what everyone did. No, I want to talk about, hey, I learned this. I learned that. I'm actually doing that with my team. I'm actually learning more about social media. And I'm asking questions to my social media lady, Catherine, like, hey, I learned this. I learned that. I've seen that this is the best time to do this. Because I want to make sure that I'm growing. But at the same time, I'm human.
Yes.
So let's.
I think what you're saying is the scales need to be tipped towards growth.
Yes.
And not just mindless entertainment.
Yes. And if you're going to watch Netflix, do like what Dave does. He watches a lot of documentaries.
Yeah.
To learn more about history, culture, stuff like that. And I like that. I'm not a huge fan of documentaries, but I am starting to watch more. I just watched the Malcolm X documentary and I learned a lot from there, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more, man.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think the theme here is focus on growth, focus on what you can control, and build good habits.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I love it, man. So on this whole money thing, how long have you been debt-free?
I've been debt-free now for 5 years.
5 years. Did you have student loans?
I had $35,000 of student loans. I was average to a T.
Are you serious? And how long did it take you to pay off the student loan portion of things?
That took 2 years.
2 years. Okay. How much money were you making around that time? You remember?
Probably around $37,000.
Okay.
Just getting started.
So you weren't making a lot of money.
No.
And I love that because they say a lot of people when they pay off debt, they're making a lot of money.
Well, I was hustling. I was doing side work.
Yeah.
I was finding every extra gig I could using any skills I had.
Yeah.
To bring in extra income to make that shovel a little bigger.
I love it. I love it. So right now, Trump and Congress have approved that they will push off student loan payments and interest payments for 6 months. And this week, we released a new book. Not really a new book. It is a quick read. It's about 10,000 words. It'll probably take you about 2 hours to read this book. And it's called Destroy Your Student Debt. It is the step-by-step guide on how to pay off your student loans faster. And I believe that student loans is one of the things that is preventing African Americans to level off the wage gap between Caucasians and others. And so I'm excited about this book because it's not just for one particular group of people. It's for everyone who have student loans. And I believe right now that if your income is still coming in and your job is not at jeopardy, here's the truth. You're going to have to pay all of your student loans back, okay? And so that just means they're deferring it to the end of your loan. Right now is the best time to attack it because for the next 6 months, anything that you put on that is going towards your principal, and you can get ahead of the game right now if you have your income. But I want to be honest, if you've lost your job and if you're struggling right now, this is not important right now. Paying off your student loans are not important. Right now, surviving, taking care of your four walls, utilities, transportation, shelter, and clothing is the most important thing. But if nothing has changed for you financially, now is the best time to take advantage of the student loans.
Oh, yeah. And I love that this book is coming out now because we did the Borrowed Future podcast.
We sure did.
On the Ramsey Network last year, and people loved it. And everyone who has their student loan debt is going, when is season 2? Teach us how to pay off our student loans. Man, that's exactly what this book covers, because we were the preventative medicine. We're trying to get all the teens out there, all the young people to go, hey, avoid student loans at all costs. Here's why.
Yeah.
Here's a ton of people who regret it. Here's a ton of people who took out a $15,000 loan and now it's 60 because of interest and life hitting them.
Yeah.
And so if you've got that student loan debt, destroy it. If you're not angry at your student loan debt, what is wrong with you? Like, you should be angry. Look at the interest alone. That'll fire you up.
Man, listen, break up with Sally Mae, man.
Yes.
People
think it's normal.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's just like with car loans. People go, well, you got a car loan your whole life.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Not
You're
true.
hanging around the wrong people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, you guys, you can go to AnthonyONeal.com to get that book. You can go to Amazon as well. I think Amazon has a long delivery time. So I want you to go to AnthonyONeal.com. We're still shipping books out right now. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to give away 10 of them for free today. All you got to do is comment below. Let me know if you are pissed off with your student loans, if you're upset, if you're ready to destroy them, and tell me why. Tell me some of your goals of why. When you become debt-free, what are you going after? And the top 10, I'm going to have my team send you out a signed copy of this quick read. Okay, here's the truth. It's not a book. Okay, let me be honest with you. I only talk about how to pay off your student loans. It is a deep dive into baby step number 2, where we teach here how to pay off your debt using a debt snowball. I also talk about when is it the best time to refi, because not everyone needs to refi their student loans. There are some requirements I want you to check off before you consider refining your student loans. How do I feel about counseling all student loan debt? I get into that there. How does it impact you? I get into that in this book. So go to AnthonyONeal.com, and I'm going to ship this book out to you as soon as you order it. It's $10, you guys. It's $10. And so you'll love it, especially right now during the season. It's a good read.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I wish more books were this short. I mean, y'all, look at this thing. That's achievable, right?
That is achievable.
I mean,
bro.
you could have wrote a 300-page book on this, but instead you're like, no, let's give them the meat. Let's give them exactly what they need to hear.
Yeah, there's no fluff. There's no build-up. We get straight into it. I tell them my story, and then we get straight into, here is the plan. Number 1, number 2, number 3, conclusion, goodbye.
Man, if someone came up to me and I had all the student loan debt and they said, hey, give me $10, I'll give you a specific step-by-step plan to get out of this thing ASAP, I'd be like, take it.
Bro, that's this right here, man.
That's an investment in your future.
I'm telling you, man.
It's huge.
Nothing like this out there, man. I mean, it's straight to the point.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun.
I like that. I like fun. What do we got?
Save and cave and save. Would you rather?
Would you rather save money by eating nothing but mac and cheese for a whole month, or
mac and cheese?
But
He's sold.
Mac and cheese, dog. If it's homemade, mama, grandmama put her foot in this thing.
It's a craft.
It's a wrap.
It's an instant box of craft.
Nope. He didn't say that. He said mac and cheese, dog. Mac and cheese.
you don't even want to know
I
the
don't
second
even
answer.
care.
He's out.
I'm out.
Well, just think of all the carbs and what a month of mac and cheese.
He'll work out. He'll make up for it.
I do not care.
Okay, give me the whole question. Give me the whole question.
You have not had my mother's and my grandmother's mac and cheese.
Oh, I didn't.
That's
this
a true
craft.
statement. We've
You
never.
gotta go with the watery, powdery, cheesy.
No, we do this from the house, dog. We do
right,
it from the
fine.
house.
I'm waiting on
So,
the invite.
George, guys at home.
Okay,
make
give
sure
me the
to vote.
question.
So, would you rather have his mother's mac and cheese for a month, or have a smoothie made up of beets, radishes, garlic, strawberries, blueberries, and bananas, and some spinach? You got a healthy smoothie, nothing but for a month.
What in the world kind of? So would you rather have the best thing possible for a month straight, or the worst thing possible for a month straight?
Hey, I guess this is for all those health conscious people, man.
Listen, I'm one of those. I'm trying to be better, right? I'm gluten-free. My wife's gluten-free. I can't even have Anthony's mom's mac and cheese. So now I'm just upset, and now I got to drink beets and radishes on top of all that punishment?
Ladies
she
and
can
gentlemen,
freeze dry the mac and cheese. Send it to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
What a time to be alive.
If you get out of student loan debt, you can eat all the mac and cheese that you want.
Homemade, that's expensive.
Homemade.
That's a lot of cheese.
Homemade. Yo, George, man, thanks so much for coming in, bro.
This has been fun. So fun.
Yeah,
we got to do this more often. How do I get the invite?
It's my show. I'll let you know.
All right.
Yo, you guys, if you have not subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. Share this video, and hopefully we've inspired you. Comment below. Let me know what else can I be talking about during this time. If you want to talk about single life, I may bring in like a single female and a single guy. We just have a conversation about single life. But right
sick
now,
of these married people, aren't you?
I'm sick and tired of y'all, brother.
That's fair.
I mean, my producer, he's married. You married.
Everyone's
I'm single. I'm gonna get married soon.
Is that a threat?
That's a promise.
I like that.
I gotta find her first.
Okay.
Yo, you guys, I'm gonna see you in the next video. Peace out.